Welcome back to another episode of Beardy's Books here on the Beardy and the Baldy channel. I am, of course, Jesse the Beardy, and I'm going to run down my comic haul for this week of April 19th, 2017. Before I do that, I just want to remind everybody that Free Comic Book Day is coming very soon on Saturday, May 6th. Check for your local comic shops. If you are in the central Pennsylvania area, anywhere near Mechanicsburg or York, or even further out if you don't have a shop near you, please come to either York or Mechanicsburg's Comix Connection. It's going to be an awesome day. Both stores open at 9 a.m. and run till 9 p.m. Everybody gets 3 free comics from the free comic selection. We're doing canned food drive. We'll have some Star Wars characters from, I believe, I'll get the specifics and be more detailed about that next week. But we'll have Star Wars characters walking around. You can take pictures with a couple of cosplayers. Sales going on in both stores all day. So make sure you come out to Free Comic Book Day coming up on Saturday, May 6th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, if you are in the Carlisle area, there is the Carlisle High School Sci-Fi Club is putting on their Sci-Fi Day on April 29th at the Carlisle High School. Again, I will provide links and stuff in the comments or something to direct you where to go to get more information about that. But that's a fun, real family-friendly oriented event. There's trivia, raffle, costume contests, all sorts of stuff. Comics Connection will be set up there with a table, so I will be there on the Carlisle High School Sci-Fi Day on the 29th, and I will be at the Mechanicsburg store in Comics Connection in Mechanicsburg for Free Comic Book Day. So make sure you come out to both of those events. Like I said, they're both great family-friendly events, and you can check out, I'll put links down in the comments below to get more information about both of those events. And I'll give you a little more info on Free Comic Book Day next week. So, Beardy's Books, I got 8 books to get through for you this week, and we'll start right off with the Rise of Star City Part 1, which is issue 21 of Green Arrow. This has been a fantastic series. I've been really enjoying this character, supporting cast, and the art in this series. And it's just really cool. This issue, they really capture some great mood and tone. As you see this really cool 2-page spread, you've got Ollie walking through this graveyard, and you see all his thoughts, and then there's this crazy action going below as this lady is going through doing some crazy stuff. This is a really cool setup issue for, I'm not sure how long the arc is going to be, but this Rise of Star City is really interesting in this first issue of the arc. You've got these different villains going through, doing different things, and how it all pulls together in the end. It's a great splash page on the final page, and it's just really interesting. I keep saying interesting, don't I? The artwork is beautiful. The storytelling is great. And it's really given me a character in Ollie that I'm rooting for, because he's kind of at a really low point. You'll see that's kind of a theme with a lot of these issues this week. And I'm really rooting for him to get back on top of things. So, next up is Superman 21. It is called, story arc is Black Dawn. This is part 2 of the Black Dawn, picking up from issue 20 after the whole Superman Reborn story arc. And this is kind of cool because you got John and Damian are hanging out together for a sleepover. It is great colors, very bold, dynamic, classic superhero coloring in these issues. And it's really cool because you get to see Superman maybe make some mistakes in this and how John perceives it and all that. And then it kind of all wraps up with Superman going back to where was it? What do they call it? Dead Man's Swamp? Which is always kind of cool, seeing Superman in slightly mystical or horror type settings, because it's not just Sockbam Powell fight his way out of it. There's always a different twist to it with that, and I really enjoy that. New number one this week from Marvel is Monsters Unleashed number one. This is the first issue of the new ongoing series, picking up after the miniseries left off, where you've got Kai and his family, or Ki and his family, living on this island provided by S.H.I.E.L.D. and the heroes of Earth for this kid and his monster crew to live on with his parents, and to come when it's like major drastic world-shattering events that he and his team are supposed to come out. So on the cover, the green lizard down here is Slizik. Makara is the big robot lady in the back. Aegis is this kind of, to lack of a better word, Jaeger-looking thing, like from Pacific Rim. The blue guy down in the corner is Hyvo, and this green insecty looking guy over here is Scrag. And Scrag and Makara are probably my two favorites of this team. I love the way Scrag talks. He has these big, crazy, like, speeches. They're just great. Like, the mighty Scrag commands that you explain your activities, for he is genuinely interested in those around him. It's just, I don't know, it just makes me laugh seeing this big monster give this, like, huge kind of villain type speech. And then it's just because, no, tell me, because I want to know. And again, great colors, great art. Some surprise characters show up in here. And also Bloodstone is always a great reason to read a book. If you've never read Next Wave, make sure you go out to your comic store and get the Next Wave Ultimate Collection. You're welcome. Low 17 from Rick Remender and Image Comics. This series, between Low and next one by Rick Remender, Black Science 29, these are both amazing books from amazing art teams. Gorgeous, beautiful artwork in both of these series. Low picks up with it was so hard. I was trying to remember everybody's names. Anyway, it picks up with one of the daughters. Goodness gracious. Anyway, it picks up with her. Last we saw her, she was kind of unconscious in a bad situation, and it was interesting to see. I'm gonna stop. I've got to stop saying interesting. She encounters some old friends, at least old friends to read the series in this issue, and she's trying to figure out what to do, because this series is all about hope and how every character seems to each issue get crushed lower and lower, and somehow they just keep moving on. And if you know me, you know hope is a big deal for me. And it's just really great to see this represented so well in this comic, and how they, Remender and his art team, deliver hope in all of the worst possible situations. Because I believe things like hope and patience and those sorts of traits and qualities don't come to you without the most adverse things that make you need hope. Like, you don't just become patient when everything goes on time and is perfect. You gain patience when things go wrong all the time, and you learn to adapt. So it's just interesting seeing his take on that. And Black Science, again, another series where characters keep getting dropped into the worst and worst and worst situations of their lives, and picking up and going on and trying to figure out how to make things right. So it's really cool seeing the fall and awkward realization, and now building towards redemption of Grant McKay in the Black Science series. 2 more to go. We've got Wildstorm number 3 with this gorgeous Jim Lee art cover. I mean, Jim Lee was an artist that got me into comics back in 1991, and I've always liked when he's done stuff. But there's something about the covers he's been doing for this Wildstorm series that are just simply amazing. It's clearly Jim Lee stuff, but it feels like there's a tone and some sort of detail to it that just surpasses anything I've seen from him in a long time. And the issue is chock full of you've got Cole Caches in there, formerly known as Grifter from the old Wildcat series, and it's really cool seeing how Warren Ellis and John Davis Hunt, the artist, are reworking and redeveloping the Wildstorms characters in the DC universe, where their own separate part of the DC universe. So there's a lot of familiarity things if you've ever read the old Image books, but they're doing them in cool and neat, really fascinating ways than just rehashing what's already been done. And last but not least, with an amazing Josh Middleton cover, is Aquaman 21. It is part 3, I believe, of H2.0. Aquaman and Mera and the Aquamarines, the shape-shifting Marines for the U.S. government, are tasked with finding out what's going on at this deep-sea research facility off the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. And they are encountering the character Deadwater again, that giant kind of snake-like humanoid creature. And it's really interesting because they start to get into some explanation of possibly where that thing came from, what it does, how it works. And this is like Superman. It kind of starts to veer off into a little bit more of that claustrophobic underwater sea horror kind of story. And it's really cool. And the artwork in this issue is just amazing. And the colors, I mean, I don't know, like this page of Aquaman and Mera swimming into this tube. I don't know, that's just something about that just is really, really breathtaking to me. I don't know how well the detail's showing up in here, but hey, head out to your comic shop. If you're in my area in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, or nearby, come to Comics Connection in Mechanicsburg or in York as well. And check out these books, and there's a lot more. The Batman 21 is out today with the 3D cover that sets up the whole crossover with him and the Flash, called The Button, where they start to investigate the comedian's Button from Watchmen that showed up in the Batcave during DC Rebirth last year. What else is out? Secret Empire #0. I'll just leave my opinions about that aside, because it's just starting. But hey, if you've been interested in the whole Captain America Hydra story that's been going on for the last couple months, you definitely want to check out issue 0 out today. I'm sure there's a couple other big Royal City 2 is out today. A couple other Image and DC books. Some more Marvel. There's a bunch of Secret Empire kind of prelude type stories they're calling Opening Salvo. So there's, I think, at least 3 of those. Thunderbolts, Captain America Steve Rogers, and US Avengers all kind of lead into or are kind of intros into the Secret Empire story. It's going to be running for the next couple months in the Marvel Universe. So I will say, if it was anybody other than Cap that this story was centered on, I'd probably be enjoying it. So take that for what it's worth. I do like what is shaping up. I just wish it wasn't centered around Captain America. So anyway, there's Beardy's books for you today, April 19th, 2017. Some great reads for my choosing, and there's a lot of other great stuff out there. So head out to your shops or Comics Connection if you're in the area, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget, Carlisle High School Sci-Fi Day coming up in a couple weeks, and Free Comic Book Day on Saturday, May 6th. Catch you later.